WWE Raw hit the airwaves Monday, and with Saturday night's main event only 5 days away, the Red Brand promised a packed show. Ahead of their clash for the vacant World Heavyweight Championship, CM Punk and Jey Uso came face-to-face one last time. Who got the upper hand and the all-important momentum ahead of their high-stakes clash? Find out now in this recap of last night's show, which also featured Nikki Bella's return to the Squared Circle and a match to determine Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion Dominic Mysterio's next challenger. For this is Ridiculously Raw. Hey there, welcome everybody to another edition of Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and Streamy.com today. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined as always by good old MF Michael Fletcher and the Phenom, Michael Bullock. You know how we do it. We got Monday Night Raw, we got NXT, and we got Thursday Night Football, the Baltimore Ravens and the Miami Dolphins. We'll get into that in just a moment. But before we start tonight, we want to send out our heartfelt thoughts and prayers to the family, and of course to Hall of Famer Mike Rotunda, better known as Irwin R. Schyster, and of course one half of the U.S. Express and a member of the Varsity Club in WCW in the late 80s and early 90s. And of course, the father of Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas, of course, as we all know, Uncle Howdy, the leader of the Wyatt Six. And our thoughts and our prayers are with Mike Rotunda and his family, especially Mike Rotunda, because of the fact that it was announced earlier today that he was going to be placed in hospice care. When you hear that word, you know it's serious. You know it's something very serious. So on behalf of all of us here at Talking Wrestling TXN, we dedicate this show tonight to Mike Rotunda. And I could hear him in the IRS gimmick saying, "Hey, Death, yo," saying, "Hey, Death, if you don't want any part of if you don't want me coming to audit you, pay your fair share." So that's exactly what he would say in the IRS gimmick. So, Mike, our thoughts are with you, bud. Our thoughts are with you, brother. They really are. Kick this thing's ass. Get better. Get out of there. And we love you, man. We love you and appreciate you, brother. We do. All right. So with that being said, let's dive on in tonight. Ridiculously Raw here tonight. Monday Night Raw from the Arrowhead Pond, the Honda Center in Anaheim, California, the home of the NHL's Anaheim Ducks. And we started it off, of course, like we always do, with our obligatory talking segment, of course. Jey Uso hit the ring to kick off Raw and quickly turned his attention to the number of people in his ear of late, including cousin Roman Reigns, brother Jimmy, and his mother. He claimed not to care about what any of them thought, which brought CM Punk out to confront his opponent for the vacant World Heavyweight Championship as part of Saturday night's main event. Punk said he watched Jey throw his own brother over the top rope last week, then asked him how far he is willing to go in their match. And Punk said, "I need to be World Heavyweight Champion like I need air in my lungs." And then Jey Uso simply said, "Screw you, Punk," before uttering his catchphrase and exiting the ring to close the segment. This was not the plan. There is no recognized issue between CM Punk and Jey Uso, and it was clear in this segment. This was a whole lot of nothing. Punk was great, as he tried to make the story about the depths to which Jey would go to beat him, but there was no real follow-up from the former world champion, and the result was a segment of television that did not create any additional excitement for the matchup. So, with all due respect, gentlemen, I hope it's okay. I just want to simply move on. I just want to bypass this segment. So, now if it was something good,
okay. I was going to say I don't really have any issue with it. I kind of wish that it would have been a better segment for the sake because of what's coming down the pipe and what's at stake on Saturday. Yeah, it was disappointing in that sense. Beyond that, I understand why you want to cut out.
Yeah, I can understand, but I'll just quickly say this. I mean, yes, I mean, it was fine, but I mean, it made me want more from the segment.
Exactly.
I mean, it made me want Jey Uso. I mean, yes, CM Punk. I mean, he was good on the mic, but Jey Uso said very little, almost little to nothing, and it made me want more out of it. So it was fine, but I just wanted more.
Fair enough. That's my sentiments exactly. So because this is a cutout, I'm gonna take the reins for our first match here. Number 1 contenders match for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. Penta squaring off against Rusev. The winner of this match would earn the right to challenge Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship at Saturday night's main event. Unfortunately, the fight got thrown out. It got thrown out. It ended in a no contest in an even 10 minutes because of El Grande Americano and the Americanos. Oh, man. Dominic Mysterio has history with El Grande Americano, giving Chad Gable the idea to embrace the luchador gimmick in the first place. And despite Ludwig Kaiser now filling the role, it made sense that he and his Americanos would cause the non-finish, saving Dirty Dom from having to battle either one. The match was good. Otherwise, as Penta and Rusev have strong in-ring chemistry. Might they have even better chemistry as partners, with a potential showdown against Americanos being the result of this outcome? I could give this between 3 and 3.25 stars, but Dominic, you're not getting off that easy, buddy. Oh, no, you're not.
Yeah, you thought your slick plan was going to work? Need I
Who's the general manager of Monday Night Raw?
Need I remind you of who the Raw general manager is?
As no nonsense as it gets.
Yeah, he doesn't take crap like that lightly.
And if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's gonna go down as the greatest general manager in Raw history. I never thought anyone would ever be better than Eric Bischoff, but he's giving Eazy-E a run for his money, man. I'm telling you. And I, for one, couldn't be any happier to have him.
And that's why me and Florio gave Dominic the Mysterio the name Dum Dum.
Yeah, Dum Dum.
Because what you did tonight,
you should have let it go. You should have let there be a decisive winner.
Yeah, what you did tonight was dumb, 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 dumb.
No. I'm gonna do you one better. MF, with all due respect, stupid.
And in the words of LA Knight, what does that make you? A dummy. Yeah.
Dummy. Yeah. Get that dummy button ready. Anyways, what I was trying to get into here, Dominic, well, his little plan backfired because General Manager Adam Pearce later in the show announced that at Saturday night's main event, Dominic Mysterio must defend the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship against both Penta and Rusev. Yikes. 3 to 3.25 stars for the match. I've said my piece. MF. Dominic should have just let it go. He shouldn't have gotten the Americanos involved. He could have had to deal with just one challenger. But because of this little sneaky plan, you don't pull one over the eyes of Adam Pearce. And because of that, he's got to deal with both Penta and Rusev. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah, and that's going to be a very interesting situation, no doubt about it. Unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is. You made your bed, now you got to lie in it there, Dom. So, like you said, 3-star bout, solid matchup, but like you said, Dom should have left well enough alone, did not, and now he pays the consequences. Now, not only do you get one challenger, now you get 2 challengers in that championship match. So it's yours.
Yeah, 3 stars for me as well. I mean, like you said, Dom should have just left it alone. And he could have had only one challenger, but now he's got two. Yeah, that's about as dumb as it gets. And that is why your Hall of Fame dad is much smarter than you. Stupid idiot muttonhead.
The only thing is that up to this point, yeah, he got himself into the mess, but he's always gotten himself out of it every time up to this point.
But the question is, how?
Hey, win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat. And the thing is, he's using the Eddie Guerrero mantra: lie, cheat, and steal. That's how you get it done, Michael Bullock.
But don't think for a minute that Adam Pearce is going to watch Dom throughout this match.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt.
And he's going to be like,
and
oh, yeah,
and
you
the
did
thing
that
is
again?
that I don't give a damn about that freaking stooge, Adam Pearce.
Oh, boy.
And yet, I'll say it to his freaking face that you're a stooge, because that's what you are. And on top of that, don't even worry about Dom. He will successfully defend the title at Saturday night's main event. Book it.
Well, I got that too, because they're going to have something bigger planned for Dom when it comes to his next title defense.
If the rumors are true.
If the rumors are true, it could be a certain GOAT that could be his next challenger.
Boston and New York, brace yourselves. That's all there is to it. That's the heel commentator side of MF there. So with that being said, let's move on to our next matchup. It was, speaking of the Judgment Day, here it is, Roxanne Perez. Raquel Rodriguez in her corner, as always, squaring off against WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella. And Roxanne Perez wins the match in 11 minutes and 20 seconds. So MF, your thoughts? Roxanne Perez defeating Nikki Bella at 11:20.
Yeah, solid matchup. You could say about a 2 3/4 of a star match. Could have been a little better in certain areas, but I will say this. Roxanne putting herself with that victory now puts herself back in contention, and I think we all know why Roxanne is in the contention, because she's going after Stephanie Vauquer. She wants the Women's World Championship. So to knock off Nikki Bella, which is a solid opponent, gives her that opening to say, hey, I just knocked off one of the greatest women's champions of all time. Now, Stephanie, am I at your level for the opportunity at the championship? So that's the play. That's the play in the whole thing.
There is something that needs there is something I forgot to address. I apologize. Next week, Monday Night Raw from Rio Rancho, New Mexico. How about that? That's pretty cool. Rio Rancho, New Mexico. First time ever in New Mexico that I can recall in 32 years. Next week, we're going to have Stephanie Vauquer and Nikki Bella versus Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. What does that tell you, MF?
What this could do is that we could actually see a championship committee moment. But here's the thing. You're not going to get, I don't think they're going to put the fall on Stephanie. They're going to protect her at all costs. But Nikki could take the fall in Mexico, and she could lose that fight.
I could see it. So your thoughts on the match?
I think he just gave it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The rating.
I said 2 3/4 of a star.
Oh, okay. I must not have heard it. I got a little sidetracked. All right. Bullock. Roxanne Perez defeating Nikki Bella in 11:20.
I'll give it about maybe 2.5 to 3. I mean, yes, pinning the champ. Pinning a Hall of Famer like Nikki Bella is helpful, but what about what happened afterward? Well, there was a beatdown, and then Stephanie Vauquer came out, and then who stared down her? It was Raquel Rodriguez.
Yes, it was.
So could they be teasing Raquel as her next opponent?
I don't know.
Well, that match, like you said,
That tag match.
that tag match could determine who is the next challenger for Stephanie Valkyr in the women's world title. If Roxanne gets the pinfall, it's her. But if it's Raquel Rodriguez, it's Raquel. We'll see.
Either way, Roxanne and Raquel are going to win that match.
Yeah. It's
We just
just
don't
who's
know how
taking the
we just don't
pinfall.
know which one's going to get the fall.
That's the big question. So we'll see. So it's yours, Florio.
Yeah. 3 to 3 1/4 for me on this. Perhaps it's a lack of consistent in-ring performances, but Nikki Bella still looks a step or two slower in the ring against the stars of today. This was better than her match with Becky Lynch from a few months ago, and Roxanne Perez is as good an opponent as there is, but she still looks almost hesitant. That would likely change if she was in the ring more often. So, not much more to say there. Move on to... Actually, I think that 2.5 to 3 sounds pretty good. So I think I'm going to go with that as well. All right. Braun Breaker with Bronson Reed and Paul Heyman in his corner squaring off against LA Knight. Braun Breaker wins the match. 13 minutes and 40 seconds. Michael Bullock, you lead it off. Braun Breaker wins in 13:40.
3 1/4, 3.5 here. I mean, obviously, you want to continue to build with this new version of the Vision now with Braun and Bronson Reed, and basically this was Braun basically trying to send a message saying, "Hey, there are other ways I can get into the title picture without the Battle Royal." So we'll see what happens with that. So that's my take on it. So it's yours.
Yeah. Right around that excuse me. Right around that 3 1/4, 3.5 star threshold. LA Knight and Braun Breaker mesh well, and this was another solid match featuring two top stars on Raw. It feels repetitive, but if for no other reason than the fact that Knight has already worked with every major star on Monday nights despite arriving just a few months back. Still, the quality was there, the finish sequence was great, and the result was an above-average bout that highlighted the strengths of both men. So I'll give this in excess of 3 1/4, 3.5. MF, it's yours. Braun Breaker defeating LA Knight in 13:40.
3 1/4, no doubt about it. I totally agree with it. I think they did a fine job with the match. Look, I know a lot of people are getting pissed off that LA Knight is not getting many opportunities. But the thing is, Braun Breaker right now is the main contender. And I kind of feel like everybody wants to see Braun win this title. So you got to build Braun some way, somehow to get him into title contention. So nothing more to say. Anthony, back to you.
And LA Knight made his intentions clear that he wants the winner of CM Punk and Jey Uso after Saturday night's main event. So, there's more than that. I'll figure it out after. I'll get it in my mind. I'll get the trade of thought in my mind. So, yeah, it ain't his pursuit of the World Heavyweight Championship ain't over by a long shot. So there isn't much more to say on that. Let's move on to our next match. Sheamus squaring off against JD McDonough. Finn Balor in JD McDonough's corner. Winner of the match, all again, 13 minutes and 40 seconds. By hook or by crook, it was JD McDonough. JD McDonough winning the matchup here. JD McDonough has been one of the best workers on Monday nights all year, and it is nice to see him getting more opportunities in singles competition. Predictably, he and Sheamus were great here, delivering a strong match that was impacted late by the interference of Finn Balor. Letting them go at it across two segments will always be a good idea. And then backstage, Adam Pearce granted Finn Balor and JD McDonough's demands, They were basically invoking their rematch clause, and next Monday night, Finn Balor and JD McDonough get their rematch. They will challenge AJ Styles and Dragon Lee for the World Tag Team Championship next week. We'll get to that house cleaning in just a moment, but 3.5, solid 3.5 stars. I was thinking about 3 3/4, but because of the interference, I'm going to bump it down to 3.5. But it was still a very good match, nonetheless. So, not much more. MF, even though it was a hooker crook moment, we cannot deny this is the biggest win, singles career-wise, for JD McDonough, winning this match in 13 minutes and 40 seconds, defeating one of the greatest to ever do it, and a man who has had every accolade thrown at him, with the exception of the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship, the Celtic Warrior Sheamus, who has won every title there is. And yes, he had help from Finn, but we cannot deny this is the biggest singles win for JD McDonough.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. Huge win for him. And now, like you said, we got to see how this goes. And 3 to 3.25 stars. No doubt about it. Biggest win of his career. And, we'll see. So, Anthony, back to you.
Michael Bullock.
3.25, 3.5 for me. But yeah, I mean, by hook or by crook, this is definitely the biggest win for JD McDonough. To beat someone like Sheamus, that's definitely making a statement there. And yeah, we'll see what happens next week with that World Tag Team title match. So nothing more to say. It's yours.
Alrighty. And let's see. Next up on the agenda, I believe this is where we get to the main event of the evening. The only two things announced for next Monday's show, like I said, from Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Awesome. It will be the World Tag Team Championship return match. AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, defending against Finn Balor and JD McDonough. And the other big tag team matchup, Stephanie Vaquer, the Women's World Champion, teaming up with WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella, squaring off against Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. Those two things and a whole lot more. The fallout from Saturday night's main event next Monday night from Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Main event time for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. The champions, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, defending against Lyra Valkyria and Bayley. Winners of the match in 14 minutes and 15 seconds. And still the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. It is Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. MF, I know you were sweating this one out. You were like, please, come on, SmackDown. Don't lose this to Raw, please. Don't worry. The belt is staying put on SmackDown. 14-15.
Fight of the night. You could even make an argument for the best women's tag team match of the year. That's how good this match was. And go out of your way to watch this fight. This was absolutely a great matchup. The psychology was amazing. The women really left it in the ring. Charlotte and Alexa were great. Bayley and Lyra was equally to the task. This is easily the greatest women's tag team match we've ever had since the exception of the return of these titles all those years ago.
Wow.
This was flat out amazing. And I want to say this and stress it right here, right now, that this is why we love professional wrestling. Now, by all means, this is nowhere a 5-star classic. I'm not going there. But as far as it being in a women's division, in a women's tag team division where a lot of people have been very skeptical of the women's tag team division. This is the peak and the pinnacle last night. 4 to 4.5 stars is my rating. Michael Bullock, it is yours.
Wow. I don't know how I'm going to follow what Fletch just said, but you know what? After everything that good old MF Michael Fletcher just said, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna give it 4.5. I mean, this was, like you said, the best women's tag team, not just the best women's tag team match, but best women's tag team title match that we've seen since they brought these titles back. So, but you're forgetting something afterwards. After the match was over, the Kabuki Warriors, I mean, they attacked both the champs and the challengers, basically going after the champs. This was basically Asuka in general sending a message saying, we should have been the ones to get the title shot, not Lyra and Bailey. And that we're coming for them next. So I hate to say this to you guys. If they get the tag title shots, I think we're looking at new women's tag team champions. So it is yours, Florio.
Man, I don't know how I'm gonna follow what MF just said, but I shall do my best. This was like, but I will. I am gonna, I'm gonna share an MF sentiments here. This was an exceptional main event, made even better by a red hot crowd. All 4 women cut a frenetic pace, had fans eating up everything they executed, and left plenty of questions about who would eventually emerge victorious from the bout. The chemistry was off the charts, and this may have been Bailey's best performance in months. 4.25 to 4.5 stars. And I do have some breaking news. The Toronto Blue Jays have evened the World Series at 2 games apiece. Blue Jays win by a score of 6-2. No need to stay up until 2:30, 2:40, or however late it was last night after that epic Game 3 last night.
Oh my gosh, that was freaking crazy.
a.m. Florio.
2:50?
2:50 a.m.
Wow.
It was almost eerily similar to what we saw in Game 3 of the 2018 World Series.
The only difference, Bullock, your game was longer.
Yeah.
His game clocked in, the Red Sox game clocked in at 7 hours and 20 minutes. Last night's game clocked in at 6 hours and 39 minutes.
Yeah.
But either way,
here's the reason why I think it was shorter. Remember, in the Red Sox and Dodgers, they didn't have the pitch clock. In this game last night, the pitch clock was in effect. So yeah, that's the only difference why. But my God, dude, I'm so glad we're done. Because God, that would have sucked if we had to go through another long one like last night. We get to sleep tonight after this.
Yes, we do.
Oh man!
So we get a pivotal. So now it's on
and you wonder
tomorrow night.
How was the pitching going to be after all that? After what we saw,
your guess is as good as mine.
But now we got ourselves a series, boys. This is now a best of 3, and it guarantees we're going back to Toronto
on Halloween, no less. Trick or treat, boys.
Yeah, trick or treat, baseball fans. You're getting a game on Halloween night.
Could we also possibly get a clincher too? Think about that. So it doesn't matter what happens tomorrow night. Regardless, either Friday in Game 6 or possibly Saturday for Game 7, we're going to have a show on both nights. We got NFL Friday on Friday and then the Cerebral Smack Talk on Saturday. Either way,
we could get bonus commentary on either one of those nights.
You're going to hear MF you're going to hear MF do what he does best. Call a World Series clincher. I can't wait. So that's the breaking news. Blue Jays win it 6-2. The series is tied at 2 games apiece. Pivotal Game 5 tomorrow night before the series heads back to Toronto for Game 6 on Friday night, Halloween. Game 7, if it's needed, would be Saturday. So, all right, gentlemen. Like I said, 4.25, 4.5 stars. Fight of the night, no doubt about it. And there isn't anything else left to say except let's get into the overall. Bullock, you gave your thoughts on the main event, right? Yeah, I believe he did. So,
yes, I did. Yep.
all right. I think MF started that, I believe. So
Yeah, MF started that. So it's
so
my
that means
turn
you
to
get to
lead
lead
the
off on the
overall.
overall thoughts on last night's show.
I thought it was a good show. I mean, it definitely could have been better in some areas, especially with that opening segment. I mean, because like I said, it was fine. I mean, but it left me wanting more, especially from Jey Uso. So I'm gonna give this maybe about 7.5 to 8. So it's yours, Florio.
My sentiments exactly 7.5 to 8. The opening segment between CM Punk and Jey Uso landed flat. However, the rest of the show was excellent. Raw has developed into the best weekly show from WWE, and in-ring action like Rusev versus Penta, Sheamus versus McDonough, and the women's tag team title match are the reasons why. The hype for Saturday night's main event was fine, if a little lackluster, but this show was all it needed to be, and the result was another strong offering from the flagship show. 7.5 to 8 out of 10. I completely agree with Bullock's rating. So, MF, your overall thoughts, and then we'll get into NXT.
7.5 for me. I thought it was a fine show. Again, if you didn't see this show, go out of your way to watch the women's tag team fight. And there's a couple of other good matches here and there, but yeah, the women's tag was the one that really stood out for me as a marquee. So nothing more to say.
Amen.
Anthony, let's just move on to NXT.
Amen to that. And we move on now to NXT. Of course, from the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando. And Halloween Havoc was an interesting show that changed the landscape of the women's division more than any other division in NXT. Not only did we see Blake Monroe defeat Zarya to become the new women's North American champion, we also saw Tatum Paxley win the NXT Women's Championship from JC Jane. Dark State regained the NXT Tag Team Championships from the Hardys, but NXT champion Ricky Starks and North American champion Ethan Page managed to retain their titles. Tonight, the Men's Speed Championship tournament continued, and we saw the Evolve Women's Championship defended when Kendall Gray defended against Lash Legend. Let's take a look at everything that happened on tonight's edition of NXT. The show opened, of course, with the obligatory recap video from Halloween Havoc. And then we go live in the arena to see Trick Williams pitching a fit backstage while looking for Ricky Saints. He eventually made his way into the ring, grabbed a mic, and started ranting about how he has been running things for years and should have won at Halloween Havoc. He called Ricky Saints a bum and called him out for another title shot. General Manager Ava came out with a couple of Gestapo security guards and said throwing a tantrum will not get Trick what he wants. Ricky eventually comes out and gets into a fight with Trick while security tried to pull him apart. Energetic way to open the show. It pushed the feud forward, had the crowd reacting a lot. Other than Williams not being clear about why he thought he deserved a rematch, this was good stuff. And Williams seemed to think he deserved a rematch because of how the crowd reacted. Didn't make much sense. So, but don't worry. We got more coming from those two. Trust me when I tell you. All right. First match of the night, the finals of the tournament to determine the number one contender for the Men's Speed Championship held by El Grande Americano. It was Axiom representing Friday Night SmackDown, squaring off against NXT's Jasper Troy. Winner of the match, 2 minutes and 54 seconds, and the number one contender for the Men's Speed Championship, Jasper Troy. Oh, El Grande Americano, you in trouble, buddy. You are in trouble. You know what Booker says. He's that man. He is that monster. No bread, no water, just meat. And in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from tonight, as part of our Veterans Day in 2 weeks, Tuesday, November the 11th, that of course is Veterans Day. Can't think of a better way to wind down that day than Jasper Troy challenging El Grande Americano for the Men's Speed Championship on that night. So these speed matches are never going to be amazing because of the time constraint, but with only 3 minutes to work, these guys made the most of their time. So we'll move it on now to the Culling. The Culling made their way to the ring to celebrate Tatum Paxley winning the NXT Women's Championship at Halloween Havoc. The crowd gave her a very warm welcome and chanted her name as she talked about how long she has been dreaming about this moment. She said she wants to be able to give everyone an opportunity to fight for the title. But Izzy Dame interrupted her and said it was a bad idea to offer a shot to anyone who wanted it. She put everyone's name on the Halloween Havoc spin the wheel, make the deal wheel, and it landed on Lola Vice. And then Sean Spears pointed out how Izzy Dame's name was not on the wheel, and she did not look happy about it. Decent segment to set up the title match, but the eventual betrayal by Izzy Dame is almost too obvious. So, gentlemen, any quick thoughts on this? We got to see the spin the wheel here.
Yeah, spin the wheel, make the deal.
Mhm.
Definitely a classic from the Halloween Havoc era. So glad that we got to see it. I wish we would have saw it at Halloween Havoc, but I'm not.
Yeah.
That's a nitpick. But
Yeah, that's the only gripe
Better
I
late than
have
never,
with the
guys.
event.
that's the only nitpick. But it was fine for what it was worth. It was very interesting that Izzy Dane's name was not on that wheel. So that kind of threw me. I'm not going to say it threw me off, but it definitely we make Izzy a little jealous here. Like, why are you not thinking of me as a challenger? Or why did you not put me in there? Why? You thought I'm not worthy of the opportunity? So I can see why Izzy is pissed. Fair enough. But just the mere fact that it landed on Lola Vice.
Okay.
That's all I gotta say about that. That's all I gotta say about that.
Oh my
Hey
gosh.
now.
I don't know how I'm gonna follow that one.
That's
But-
the Gur, Bullock. That's the Gur I've been telling you
But
about.
yeah, you didn't see Izzy Dame's name on there, and Izzy was not happy about it, and I think it all but ensures that Izzy's turning on Tatum Paxley. It's not just a matter of if, it's just a matter of when it's going to happen.
Exactly.
And you could also tell at Halloween Havoc. I mean, was Izzy Dame really trying to hit JC Jane? Because I think it looked like she was trying to hit Tatum Paxley.
Oh, definitely it did.
Yeah, so you could see I could even tell even before this that you know that she's turning on Tatum.
Oh, it's
Even
coming. It's coming
it's
soon
coming.
enough.
Again, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
We'll see.
We'll find out.
We will. Let's move on now, guys, to our first. That was more of an open forum kind of thing. So we finally have something relevant to get into here, guys. The WWE Evolve Women's Championship. First of 3 championship matches. But the thing is, all 3 of these championship matches were all represented by the women's division. That just goes to show you that NXT literally has the best women's division in all of professional wrestling. To have 3 title matches, all women's title matches. Do you have any idea how huge that is? That's awesome. The first of them was for the WWE Evolve Women's Championship. New champion, Kendall Gray. Kendall Gray making her first defense after winning the title from Callie Armstrong on Evolve some time ago. Kendall Gray not alone. She had Ren Sinclair in her corner. And what a very tough first challenger. Her first challenger, Lash Legend. And the winner of the match in 10 minutes and 50 seconds. And still the WWE Evolve Women's Champion, Kendall Gray. Kendall retains the title. This match may have had some missteps, but they made it look like a hard-fought bout, and that always helps. Kendall Gray is a good underdog character who already seems ready to move on from Evolve and do more with the company. And Lash Legend's growth over the last few years has been phenomenal. She still has work to do, but she could be a major player on the main roster within a couple of years if they book her right. So that's all I can say on this. So solid 3 1/4 stars, teetering on 3.5, but I'm leaning more towards the 3 1/4 for this one. So not much more to say. MF, Kendall Gray, still the Evolve Women's Champion, defeating Lash Legend in 10:50.
First off, Kendall Gray, well done. Impressive performance. I'm definitely a fan of you. I'm definitely a big fan of you. Lash, we already know how much we love you. You've been amazing and everything else. 3 1/4 stars, absolutely raised the rating there. Nothing more to add, Anthony. You hit on every point I was about to make. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, 3 1/4 for me as well on this. I mean, yeah, great first title defense by Kendall Gray. I mean, to defeat someone like Lash Legend is certainly no easy task, but she did it. So, yeah, there's really nothing more for me to say. So, it is yours, Florio.
All righty. And we move on. To, I believe this is where, actually, no, we had Tavion Heights squaring off against Miles Bourne. And Miles Bourne wins the match 10 minutes and 7 seconds. MF, your thoughts?
Solid matchup. Could have been better in certain areas, but I'm not going to be too mad about it. 2.5 to 3. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, 2.5. 2.5 to 3 is my rating on this as well. So, not too much more to say. So it's yours, Florio.
Yeah, solid 3 for the effort here. Both of these men are great athletes. And I'll tell you what, sometimes a good competitive fight between two baby faces is exciting because it means there is less of a chance of shenanigans causing a dirty finish. Both of these men are great athletes who have grown a lot during their time in NXT. So it felt like we were seeing 2 complete wrestlers instead of 2 rookies. Josh Briggs joining the commentary team halfway through the bout, and Tavion Heights went out of the ring to confront him. Miles Bourne ended up taking both men down with a dive over the top. And then Bourne got the pin and the win. And yeah, solid matchup here. Solid 3 for the effort. And then backstage moment, Ethan Page and Chelsea Green chatting with Alba Fire. Alba Fire flanking Chelsea Green. Ethan Page talked about him and Chelsea's upcoming match in Mexico for the AAA Mixed Tag Team Championships. Alba was putting up flyers for someone to fill in for Piper Niven while she's injured. Thea Hale randomly passed by, and she said his name, and he appeared. Joe Hendry. He popped out from a trash can. And then Green and Page didn't care and said they were going to be the mixed tag champions. Thea Hale showed up and rolled Joe Hendry away in the trash can. What? Oh my God. Oh my goodness gracious.
Well, I guess I could say something, but I don't want to offend Florian Bullock.
Thea Hale and Joe
My
Hendry.
message to Chelsea Green and Ethan Page: why don't you believe in Joe Hendry?
Because they
Thea
got
Hale and Joe Hendry.
they got bigger things to worry about, Bullock. That's why they don't give a damn about Joe
Mixed
Hendry.
tag team titles.
And nobody gives a damn about these two.
Oh, they will when they become the new women. When they become the new AAA mixed tag team champions.
You're calling it?
I'm calling it.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna hold you to that.
Yeah, both of us are gonna hold you to that.
The reason why I think they're gonna do it is because I do believe that there's been some friction in the last few months between La Hiera and Mr. Iguana. And the thing is, La Hiera has been getting a little jealous because Iguana's been hanging out with Lola.
Oh, and the ice and it's at the point where the ice is ready to break.
I think the ice is ready to break.
It's getting to a point there. He's not like for Iguana. He's trying to say it's innocent, that there's nothing going on, which in real life, nothing is going on. But La Hiera, being the jealous girlfriend, is not having it, and it's causing more problems than it looks. And if there's ever a time for a team to step up and win the tag team titles, this might be it. Because I hate to say this, Mexico is in love with Chelsea Green, and they actually do care about All Ego Ethan Page. So AAA may pull the trigger, and we may have new tag team champions coming up. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying.
Fair enough. And Thea Hale and Joe Hendry, the partnership we never knew we needed.
Yes, I'll agree with that.
Can we imagine what those two are? If we get more stuff from those two. Oh, goodness gracious! All right, back to serious business here. The second of our 3 women's title matches. This was for the NXT Women's Championship. The first defense of the new champion, Tatum Paxley, Izzy Dame in her corner, squaring off against Lola Vice. The fight gets thrown out in 3 minutes and 50 seconds because of fatal influence. Oh, boy. Oh.
Can we say NA?
NA.
Man. Of all, like, it was a good match. Match. And they pulled the rug, and they had to do that. And I get it. Like, in one sense, it's logical. It does make logic because you don't want to hurt Lola because Lola is very high, but you don't want to hurt Tatum either because he just won the title. So you don't want to jeopardize either one of these two. It makes sense because it's JC Jane being the jealous you-know-what and wanting the spotlight on herself, knowing that what happened was a fluke and she wants the belt back. I get it. But, they should have done this better. It's an NA. I'm mad. I'm heated that happened too. I was yelling, no, when that happened.
The thing. You think Fatal Influence cares what we think?
Oh, heck no. Especially JC Jane.
Yeah,
she wants her
Jane
belt
would
back.
tell us, I don't give a damn what you 3 assholes think.
Yeah, she wants the belt back. She feels like Tatum is a fluke. She feels like Tatum has no business running around with that NXT Women's title. So, hey,
that's her opinion.
Ava's got to do something about this. Ava has to do something about this because this is unfair, man.
Well, Ava did do something about it. For the most part, I'm going to get into that when we do that when I do the house cleaning. So, but yeah, unfortunately, this is going to have to be an NA. Man, we knew this match would end without a title change, but having it get thrown out completely after only a couple of minutes was beyond disappointing. So, we're just going to leave it at that. Before we get to the main event, it was announced that now there was a segment there was a backstage segment earlier in the show in Ava's office with Sol Ruca and Zarya, and Sol Ruca made the decision to relinquish her Speed Women's Championship. So next week we're gonna start a tournament to crown a new Women's Speed Champion, and the first round of that tournament gets underway next week. And on top of that, Javon Evans is going to square off against, I believe it's Saquon Sugars of Dark State, and a 6-woman tag team matchup. All 3 members of Fatal Influence, JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and the newest member, Lainey Reed, will square off against the NXT Women's Champion, Tatum Paxley, Izzy Dame, and Lola Vice. That will be in a 6-woman tag next week. Main event of the evening, the third and final women's title matchup of the night for the TNA Knockouts Championship. The champion, Kalani Jordan, defending against challenger and former 3-time holder of the Knockouts Championship and one of the greatest Knockouts champions of all time, the Juggernaut, Jordynne Grace. The winner of the match in 12 minutes and 29 seconds, and still the TNA Knockouts champion, it is Kalani Jordan. But Kalani Jordan cheated to win. She hit Jordan with the belt. All while Trick Williams and Ricky Saints brawled some more. And then it was announced at the end of the show that Ava, sick and tired of all the shenanigans, she put an end to it. You know, on Veterans Day night in 2 weeks, we're going to see Jasper Troy challenge El Grande Americano for the Men's Speed Championship. Add Ricky Saints versus Trick Williams in a return match for the NXT Championship. Last man standing. There you go. As for this, I got to say this was the fight of the night. I'm going to give it a solid 3.5 stars. Most of this match was decent, but they had a few close botches that kept it from being as good as it could have been. But this is actually, I'm going to make it 3.25, 3.5. It's still one of the fights of the night. But yeah, Kalani used the belt. I think she finally cemented that heel turn that they have been longing and they have been planting the seeds for what I feel like has been forever and a day. So we finally got it here. It looks like. So I think a heel turn could do some wonders for Kalani Jordan. I do. I'm definitely intrigued, and I can't wait to see how far this goes and where this goes. So, and Trick Williams and Ricky Saints last man standing match. That's the ultimate be a man fight. You know how that works. Those 2 men are going to beat the holy hell out of each other until one opponent or whatever, until either one man or both men cannot answer the count of 10, cannot get up by the count of 10. You got to incapacitate your opponent for a count of 10. That's all you got to do. So, cannot wait to see how that plays out in 2 weeks. So, 3.25, teetering on 3.5 for the main event. So, not much more to say. MF, for the longest time, NXT has been planting the seeds for Kalani Jordan to turn heel. I think they finally pulled the trigger here tonight with the way she successfully defended against Jordan Grace in 12:29. And on top of that, Ricky Saints and Trick Williams in 2 weeks, last man standing for the title.
Yeah, that's gonna be amazing. That's gonna be the fun part to see that fight go down. At the end of the day, they made the right decision here. I really got nothing more to say. I mean, this was, it was perfect the whole night. So 3.5 stars, and Michael Bullock is yours.
Yeah, I'll give this about 3.25, 3.5. I mean, yes, they've been playing the seeds for a long time for Kalani Jordan to turn heel, and I think this sealed it. And also with what happened last week too, let's not forget that when she got thrown out of the NXT women's locker room because they felt like she was a Benedict Arnold, that she sided with TNA, and Jordan Grace was trying to like be on her side, but Kalani Jordan's like, you know what? I'm done with this whole being nice bullshit. I'm not taking any more advice. And this tonight was another way of saying, you know what? This is another way of saying I'm done with this. I mean, what has nice gotten me? It's gotten me absolutely nowhere. So if it means cheating to retain the title, then so effing be it.
And not only that, but she should not apologize to anybody. You're the TNA Knockouts champion. The last time I checked, you become the flag bearer for TNA, not
And
NXT.
She's like, if anybody in NXT's got a effing problem with that, too effing bad.
Yeah.
And she's done being this nice, cute girl.
Yeah.
So that's what she did with this tonight. So there's really nothing more for me to say.
Florio, back to you.
Okay. So, all right. So, I believe I started that off. So, MF, you start off with the overall review here.
Pretty good show. Nothing more to say. I would probably say about 7 out of 10. Could have been better in certain areas, but no complaints here. So, Michael Bullock, it's yours.
7.5 out of 10 for me as well. So, it's yours, Florio. And then I think we got one more thing, and that's previewing Thursday Night Football.
Yes, we do. 7.5. Tonight's NXT may have only had one standout match, but the show did a good job following up on Halloween Havoc and setting up for the future. Tatum Paxley was a heavy focus on the show with an in-ring segment, a backstage segment, and a title defense. But you can tell her alliance with Izzy Dame is on borrowed time. The feud between Trick Williams and Ricky Saints has reached a boiling point. The way WWE had them fighting throughout the whole show helped elevate it from a standard story into a personal grudge. In 2 weeks, they will have a last man standing match for the NXT Championship, which would put their storyline to bed once and for all. Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights stole the show with their encounter, so if you only have time to see one match, make it that one. Maybe even make it the Knockouts title as well, and the Evolve title. So, I see. I don't know if MF hit the wrong button or if he's okay. We got MF back. Okay, all right. So,
I have to apologize. The cell phone that I was using died. My battery died, so I had to change phones.
Okay, no problem. 7.5 out of 10. Definitely the right rating for this. More like 7 for me. So, all right. So with that being said, we have one last order of business here tonight. Thursday Night Football. As we're getting ready to kick off, I can't believe I'm already saying this. Week number 9. It feels like we just started this season, but here we are. We're going to kick off week 9 of the NFL season. Thursday night, Amazon Prime Video, as it will be our number 6 game of the week. This game came in at number 6 for our game of the week. Number 6, as it will feature the Baltimore Ravens squaring off against MF's Miami Dolphins from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit, and Kaylee Hartung on the call as always. Baltimore opening up as a 7.5-point favorite. Baltimore leads the all-time series 9-8. Last time these two teams met, it was in 2023 in Baltimore. Baltimore smashed Miami 56-19. The last meeting in Miami was in 2021. That was also a Thursday night, and Miami won that game 22-10. The Ravens last won in Miami in 2019 when they literally smashed the Miami Dolphins 59-10 in that one. So here we go. Lamar Jackson is expected to return, and the Ravens start a 3-game road portion of the schedule that has no room for error. The Ravens lost their last Thursday night game at Miami, a 22-10 stunner in 2021, but this feels more like a team ready to go on a run, especially after putting up 177 rushing yards this past Sunday against Chicago. Miami is 1-2 straight up at home, and all 3 games have been decided by 6 points or less. Whether it's Lamar Jackson or Tyler Huntley at quarterback for the Ravens, it will be a nice South Florida homecoming. Jackson has lit up the Dolphins plenty before, while Huntley went back to play Jackson super sub to beat the Bears on this past Sunday. Tua Tagovailoa is playing better ahead of facing an improved Baltimore pass defense, but the biggest problem will be Miami's run defense against Derrick Henry. I'll say it like this. If it's Tyler Huntley, I got the Ravens winning either way. If it's Tyler Huntley, the score will be 27-17 Baltimore. If it's Lamar, 31-21. But it doesn't matter. Whether it's Lamar Jackson or Tyler Huntley, I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens to win this game. And even though Miami was very impressive this past Sunday against the Atlanta Falcons, a lot of that could be attributed to Kevin Harlan, because Kevin Harlan called that game. And whenever Kevin Harlan, over the last, 2 or 3 years, when Kevin Harlan has called the Miami Dolphins game, the Miami Dolphins almost always win. And that's what got him off the schneid. But it's not Kevin Harlan, it's Al Michaels. So we'll see what the legend has in store for you on Thursday. But regardless, I got to go with Baltimore with all due respect. So 31-21 if it's Lamar, 27-17 if it's Tyler. But I got the Ravens winning, so not much more to say. MF, Lamar Jackson, this could finally be the game where he comes back. But your Dolphins coming off that impressive win against Atlanta. Now what?
We're gonna have to wait and see. The one thing that could give them the difference that it could be different would be that if really in this situation is, can Miami figure out the way to handle the whole situation? So Miami changed up their look. They had one of their offensive coaches down on the field. They actually use a 3 running back set. They use Jalen Wright, they use Ollie Gordon III, and they use Devon Achane. They ran the football, and that's why Miami looked good. And Anthony Weaver changed his defense up by, instead of going zone, went more man-to-man, more blitzing, and actually put more pressure on the team, utilizing that by shutting down then the best running back in the NFL, Bijan Robinson, who normally averages 5 yards a carry. Oh, by the way, Anthony, you should know him because he carved you up. He only got 2 yards per carry, 31 total. You don't tell me for one goddamn second that the Miami Dolphins may have figured something out here. And now we got Derrick Henry. So, yes, you're going to go and everybody's going to say Baltimore easy. I get it. Baltimore looks a lot more better. They look a lot more sharper. They look a lot more great. What if Miami wins? What if the Dolphins stuns the Ravens? That's 2 in a row. Could this be the start of something bigger? down the line. I'm going to go with the Ravens because, like you said, the fact is, with Lamar, every time Lamar plays the Dolphins, he goes crazy. If Huntley's there, I like my chances a lot more better than I do if Lamar is playing. But we'll see. But the last time Lamar played in Miami, he didn't play so good, Florio. So let's see. We'll see. I'll go for the Ravens, but I'm not entirely convinced. This was definitely a different Dolphins team that I saw on Sunday. So possibility is we may see a big win. So who knows? Florio's yours. I mean, Bullock is yours.
I'm actually going to go with the Ravens. I mean, look, excuse me. The Miami Dolphins, yes, they had a really good performance last week, but can they do it 2 weeks in a row against the Ravens, especially if Lamar Jackson's playing? We'll see. So I need to see more from Miami before I can really say. Now, if they do beat Baltimore, then maybe I'll go on and say maybe this could be the start of a turnaround. But until that, I have to go with the Baltimore Ravens to win this one. So let's put a ball on this, Florio.
All right, and that will indeed put the bow on this latest edition of Ridiculously Raw. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in as always. We'll be back with you again on Thursday night, 10:30, right back here on the Tone 25 for the Week 10 edition of TXN Sports World College Football Thursday. And then Friday night, a special Halloween edition of TXN Sports World NFL Friday, Week 9 edition, where we'll recap the Ravens and the Dolphins. And then from there, we will also preview the remaining games of week number 9. The headliner, of course, the most anticipated game of the season to this point, the rematch of the AFC Championship game, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills, Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park on Sunday, and we'll get into that and all the games of week number 9 in the NFL. And perhaps we might have MF with some bonus commentary, a possible World Series clincher. Maybe. We'll see. And then on Saturday, right around that 10:30 threshold on Saturday night, the Cerebral Smack Talk. Not only do we have Friday Night SmackDown, but we're also going to have Saturday night's main event. We're going to get into both of those. No TNA again, because they're doing another special. A very hearty Halloween, gentlemen. You do not want to miss that on Thursday night. Ho, 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 ho. That's all I'm going to say. So that'll be on Thursday, and then, well, the hearty Halloween anyway. But Saturday, SmackDown. It's going to be SmackDown and Saturday night's main event. And then 1 week from tonight, we do it all over again. Ridiculously Raw, Monday Night Raw, NXT. And we preview next week's Thursday night football game, as that will feature the Las Vegas Raiders squaring off against the Denver Broncos in Denver. So we'll get into that on next week. So that's it. So until Thursday night for the Week 10 edition of TXN Sports World College Football Thursday, this is Anthony Florio here for good alum F. Michael Fletcher, for the phenom Michael Bullock, and in spirit, always and forever, our First Lady, the Twisted Angel, Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed couple of days. And until Thursday night, for College Football Thursday, you've been watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Zone 25 on YouTube and StreamYard.com for everybody. And let's also not forget, no matter what anyone tells you beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, everybody, bye.